Hello everyone, Juicebags here, and welcome back to a little Tekkit for Minecraft 1.5.2. And as you can see, I've got our first quarry up and running. Now unfortunately with these steam engines, it's going to take several days for it to cut down all the way to where we're getting a lot of the good stuff. But you see I've got the quarry placed with 3 aqueous accumulators and 3 steam engines on top. So the quarry itself is only getting 12 MJs per tick, and it can use substantially more than that and go way faster once we get a better power source. But this is a good starting point for a quarry. It's cutting down. It's doing, I'd like to say it's doing like 1 layer every maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So, I mean, in time, this will be cut all the way down to the bottom, but still has a ways to go. Using the steam engines, of course, you have to constantly refill the coal. That's really the only downside, but it's a good starter quarry. As you can see, I got my power suit dialed back in after the debacle last episode. And I've done quite a bit of work, in fact. We've got a lot of stuff in place. This episode, I really want to play around a little bit in the Nether, start collecting up some stuff, and talk about one of the really most important mods in this mod pack, especially at the starter levels, and that is equivalent exchange. Of course, everybody gets a bunch of these shards of minium in their inventory from killing random mobs that you encounter, and a lot of people aren't using them, but use these shards of minium to create a minium stone. You create that minium stone by using 8 of the shards of minium with an inert stone. The inert stone can be made with 4 iron ingots, 1 gold ingot, and 4 stones. So you're going to have to throw your cobble in the furnace there. And that's going to get you an inert stone, which in turn can allow you to transform that into a minium stone. Now we'll get into the importance of that here in just one moment, but just some of the starter kind of benefits of it is like the things I really want to start working on right away is going to be some redstone energy cells, some better source of power. So I'd like to create some more magma engines and a generator that's going to put out a little bit more juice. And of course, to efficiently use it, specifically for the quarry, I'm going to need some tesseracts in the mix as well. So that's going to require a lot of materials that are a little bit more difficult to get if it wasn't for equivalent exchange. Now, everyone knows how fond I am of bricks, yet clay can be a little difficult to come by. It's easy to find. As you see, there's clay right here. Easy to find in any of the ponds or swampy areas, any of the marshes that have some bodies of water. You're going to find some clay mixed in with the sand. You see we've got some clay here, and it drops more than 1, as you see, per block. It's dropping 3, so that makes it it's pretty quick to collect the clay. There's some more clay right over here, in fact, and it's all over. However, one of the benefits you have with equivalent exchange, particularly once you get a quarry going, is you end up having an abundance of gravel that you're not going to use. Now, gravel can be converted into clay using your minium stone, which we will do in just one moment as soon as we get back. It's actually dropping more than 3. It's dropping quite a few. You see I got 2 stacks of clay just from those, 10, 12 blocks, whatever it was. And let's see where the quarry is down to now. I think it's down into the 40s. Yeah, we're at layer 45 now, so it's probably about a day away. A full day, probably. 24-hour day, that is. It should be down to the point where it's starting to collect some of the more beneficial goodies. Now, as you see, I did choose the extreme hills biome for the very first quarry. And the reason being is I was sick of running out to the village and trading with villagers for emeralds. So let's go ahead and get on back to our base and show a couple more things. Now you see this little pavilion that's set up over here. There's nothing on it right at the moment, But this is what will be the spawn point once we get some more things in place. And there's going to be, wherever the quarries are at, the quarries will be pumping their goodies right here to this platform. Then I'll also have a station set up with some basic food items, maybe even some tools, to help people get started as they spawn in. This is the current spawn point, and I did set up a chest with some bread in it. Looks like somebody threw some apples in there too. So there's some food to get you going. One thing I didn't think, being as this was the spawn, I put this wheat here for people to be able to harvest. However, it's protected, so that is not an option, unfortunately. So let's head on inside and head on down. Now, as I mentioned, I want to start working on some redstone energy cells. To really maximize the quarry, I'm going to need some tesseracts as well. And for creating a better power generator, I'm going to need some energy tesseracts and some liquid tesseracts. That way I can pump some lava from the Nether and keep those magma engines burning. But let's take a look at... what did I want to do? I wanted to make some clay here, so we're going to take some gravel. And I think it needs 4, doesn't it? Yep, and that's going to make that's going to make some clay. Make a good use of your gravel. You got your minium stone plus 4 spots of gravel is going to make clay. Now, tesseracts, the hardest material there is to get really for them, is going to be these ender pearls. Unless you just run into a massive supply of endermen to farm, or if you're on a server where the ender dragon is killed and you can set up some sort of ender dragon farm, or enderman farm, pardon me. The best way to come up with ender pearls is going to be, once again, with equivalent exchange. So, as we're starting to get an abundance of iron, let's go ahead and grab 2 stacks of iron there, head back over to our crafting table, throw the minium stone in there, let's get it loaded up on iron. Let's go ahead and throw it all in there, huh? And there we go, we got 2 stacks of ender pearls, just that easy. I know equivalent exchange has, some have bashed on it as it being a bit of a cheat. Yeah, of course it is, but it is Tekkit. We want to get to building machines as quick as we can, and that's one of the mods that's provided to help us along with that. Where, like Hexit, for say, has a lot of your ore and such that is very easy to come by, Tekkit has made it so that we can use equivalent exchange to come up with a lot of these goodies we need up front. Now let me go ahead and throw this clay and these ender pearls. In fact, I'm going to keep those ender pearls so people don't, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Throw those ender pearls in the boxes. I want to make a little bit more room for some goodies, because I'm going to head off to farm in the Nether. Now, another item that I want to really get going right away is an ME network. And kind of the basis to all the Applied Energistics items is going to be quartz. Now I've got the quarry farming out there. It's going to come up with some quartz for me. But I am going to head off to the Nether because I want to get some more easy to come by quartz. I've grabbed most of this in the immediate area here. But I also want to find a good spot for a potential pumping station in the immediate future. Let's go ahead and kill some of these guys off, get us some gold nuggets, and we're going to get some shards of minium in the process. Of course, it's not a 100% drop rate, but even mobs in the Nether do drop the shards. So just, as you see, there's one right there. You want to just kill everything you come across, and that's going to allow you to make those minium stones. Yeah, we got some quartz hanging right there. I also still need a bunch of netherrack, so I'm going to grab some of that while I'm here too. And once I get to an area that hasn't been trampled on so bad, hopefully there is a little bit more quartz. Everything has been farmed up in this immediate area pretty good. And it looks like that may be the opening out into the main nether area right there. And another beauty about the nether, of course, is you get the free, you get a lot of the free nether ore. Just got to deal with all those little pain in the butt. But there we go. They drop minium stones as well. There's Toja. What's going on? Let him know I'm recording here. But let's grab up some more quartz. Let's see, we got some up here. Quartz is in abundance in the nether, of course, and it doesn't really take a ton to get things started with Applied Energistics. Let's see. I saw some more quartz. There's some gold up there. There's all kinds of goodies that are very easy to come by. Be creeping up on me like that? What was that? Nether diamond. Awesome. There's some more quartz. I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't positive there. Now, one of the things we're also going to show off in this episode is the quartz cutting knife. Everyone knows one of the problems we had on the last server was a bit of excessive laser usage with the Buildcraft Assembly Tables. So lasers are actually blacklisted on this server. Toja's saying hello to the YouTube world there. Let's hope, anyway. And let's see, what do we have over here? Yeah, let's get over to that opening. I want to find a potential pumping station for later. Now, another thing that everyone knows is I'm very fond of the glowstone illuminators, all that stuff. I've actually burned through all of the glowstone just about that I've collected already, which has been a pretty sizable amount. Here's some more quartz. Ooh, and we got lava down there. Let me fill that lava in. I don't have anything with me. We'll just use up some wood. Block that lava off so I can come down here and safely get this quartz. Now, if you haven't put, I forget what it's called, but on the power suit, the heat dissipator, I can't remember exactly what the item's called. Let's see, is it cooling system, derp. You put the cooling system on your power armor before you come in, because the heat is not going to dissipate as fast in the nether as it does in other areas. I actually had another unfortunate death cruising around in the nether as I was unprepared for the onslaught of heat that started coming my way. Is that gold? Ooh. Uh-oh. What was that? I think it was just fire. Yeah. Now there's a baddie down there too. Well, it sent him for a launch, huh? Don't really need the redstone, although there is some redstone here for easy pickings. Which way was I going? I was trying to get out. Looks like here is an opening out into the world. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, that is much better. So we got a bunch of glowstone nearby. That is untapped. I think I'll fly up to it. And it's a lot easier if you get right under the glowstone while you're flying here. Get me some glowstone. Gotta love it. There will definitely, with all my newfound clay and this glowstone, there will definitely be some brick going in place down in my basement area, probably on the floor here pretty quickly. Maybe do some glowstone bricks, and I'm going to have to get out and farm up some snow as well. Really is like you couldn't tell from my previous series, the kind of my favorite blocks in the game are the snowstone, or the snow bricks, and the chiseled sandstone. Which chiseled sandstone you can make with equivalent exchange as well, and that saves you from having to go through and process all of your normal sandstone. There we go, we're getting some glowstone now. See, I've got more than a stack of quartz, so I've actually achieved more than what I need here to get things started. I can probably get the start of an ME network in place as soon as I get back. Now I'll save that for next episode, but I am going to show off the quartz cutting knife a little bit, as we're not going to have any lasers, so there will be no Buildcraft Assembly Tables, and they're very inefficient as well. What it takes 10 minutes to do with a Buildcraft Assembly Table, you can pretty easily get done in 10 seconds with the quartz cutting knife. So you definitely want to make the most of it. Let me just grab these last bits of glowstone here, and that should put me, I think I should be over a stack. Let's see. Oh yeah, a stack and a half. Alright, so let's head on out and take a little tour here. It looks like having some loading issues right in the center there, but we see we've got a pretty abundant pool of lava here, which should be no problem setting up a pumping station right out in this pool. Oh, I didn't even notice. Here is the Nether fortress, so when it comes time to start farming those blaze rods, it's actually right outside our spawn. So that's pretty awesome. But so we've got some quartz, got some glowstone. I'm gonna grab some quick netherrack. Let me just go. I'll go ahead and grab some right down here, and then we're gonna get on back and start cutting with quartz. Oh, the netherrack is so quick and easy. Love it. Alright, is that, I want to get like 2 stacks. Well, look at that, there's 2 stacks. Plenty of netherrack here, of course. I can always come back and grab some more. But let me make use of the time while I'm here. There's some more quartz. I might as well grab it since I'm right on top of it. Alright, plenty of quartz. Alright, so that's going to get us pretty squared away for a nice start. Ooh, landed in the lava. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of quartz up in here. I'll have to remember this little spot when I come back in. Up and over instead of around the bend. So let's go ahead and head on back. We got lots of baddies here. I'm going to go ahead and clear them out real quick. Becomes a bit of a no-brainer to kill just about anything once you get your power suit squared away completely. And let's head on back and start cutting some stuff up. Now I got more of these damn zombies coming at me. The old zombie pigman. Can't pass up on the XP while I'm here. I better have a little snack here real quick. Alright. So let's head on back. I'm not sure who put this in. I'm assuming it's Ribo and Systematical, since they have some warps to their place there. But we're going to head on back to the spawn. And here we are. Alright, so let's head downstairs here. Now, a quartz cutting knife. Of course, we're going to have to make one of those first before we can bother with anything else. And how are we going to make that? It's been a while, I can't remember. It would help if I could spell quartz properly. There we go. And the quartz cutting knife is 2 sticks, 2 quartz, and 1 iron. So let's see, do I have any iron? I gotta grab some here real quick. So we got, what was it, 2 sticks, 2 quartz, and 1 iron. And that gets me my quartz cutting knife. Now, the reason you're going to use this instead of an assembly table is, let me go ahead and grab some redstone. Do I have some diamonds already? Yeah, I do. I've got them upstairs. Let me grab those real quick. Alright, anyway, the reason the quartz cutting knife is so important is one of the things required to get the ME network started is going to be, let's see, one of the first things we need really is a ME controller. We see there's the controller. To make one of those guys, we're going to need some Fluix crystal, which we're going to need more quartz, Nether Certus quartz, and a redstone, so that is no problem, especially as that quarry is cutting in, to create some Fluix crystals, and ME advanced processors. Now, we also have an ME basic processor that will also be a key component, and you can make those the same way. Now, when you click on the advanced processor, it doesn't, as you go through the NEI recipes, it doesn't immediately spark anything up with the quartz cutting knife. And the reason being is it is actually talking about this advanced processor assembly. Now, I know I showed that off in my last video, but that's going to be the quartz cutting knife, 2 redstone, a diamond, and some silicone. Now, I think I've got some silicone already somewhere. There it is. There's 3 silicone there. So if we come on over to our crafting table here, what we are looking for is the advanced processor assembly. So we're going to go ahead and throw our quartz cutting knife up top, a couple of redstone. In fact, let's make 2 of these guys because I know I'm going to need them. Let's throw 2 diamonds in there. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do 3 since I've got 3 silicone right there already made. The silicone, of course, you get from just throwing the quartz dust that you'll have an abundance of in the quarry into your forge, and that's going to give you the silicone. But this is going to give us advanced processor assemblies. Now we see we lost a little usage on the quartz cutting knife, not very much. But just making those 3 assemblies would have took several minutes using the assembly table and the lasers. So now we're going to go ahead and throw these advanced processor assemblies into the furnace, and we need to kind of burn those in. And that's going to take the advanced processor assembly and turn it into an ME advanced processor. And that's going to be kind of your bread and butter. That's why the quartz is required to get the ME network going. And I should be able to get an ME network up pretty quickly now. Now, first things first, though, I do want to get a little bit better power system in. So I'm going to be pumping some lava from the Nether. I'm going to do it the same way I did last time. I know that you can pump the Nether dry. However, there is a lot of lava there, so it's going to take a while. Unlike last time around, this is going to be my power station. I'm not going to be sharing it with the community, so it's going to be a lot smaller. Everyone's going to be able to make their own power station, of course, to handle their power needs. And I'm not sure where I want to put it. I'm thinking I want to go ahead and start building up and potentially put it up in this building somewhere, as I could put quite the power center just right here and have that particular second floor just dedicated to power generation. Then I could have power going down, power going up, power going wherever I need it to go. So that's going to do it for this episode. There's a quick look at the quartz cutting knife and the benefits of it. Plus the quarry is in place, and it's really time to start escalating. Hopefully by next episode I've got some tesseracts made, now that I've got all the ender pearls, and I'll be able to make a lot more ender pearls the more that quarry pumps. Of course, the more iron it's going to pump out. Every 4 iron ingots is going to get me an ender pearl, and those are, I have to juice those down in the magma crucible, of course, to fill the empty tesseract frames, and that's how you start creating your tesseracts. But thanks again for watching. Click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I have been getting a lot of messages and comments about how can you get onto the server. Once again, I just wanted to let everybody know, currently all the slots are full, so there are no openings. There will be no new whitelistings until one of the current players decides they don't want to play on the server anymore. Now, that could be a day, that could be a month. I don't know. It's up to them, not up to me. So there will be no, there's not going to be any new slots added. I want to make sure that this round of Minecraft Tekkit is a lot of fun. And to be honest with you, the last one was not very fun for me, as I spent too much of my time policing other people. And I want to play the game. I want to enjoy it and have a good time. But thanks again. See you guys soon.